Hey, it's Chris in the Super Cub. So we're back. We're just wrapping up a pre-drywall inspection for our OverSeeIt program. So let's see some of the things that we found. So everything looks pretty good on this property. The builder seems to be doing a pretty good job. There are some cracks in the stucco, but that's minor. And one thing here is the builder already marked this. So, you know, when you address this in your report, you don't want to make a big deal out of it. You just want to comment that the builder already acknowledged the fact that that one area needs repairs, and you know, no reason to you know, go over the top with it. Builder already knows. We're just going to comment on it and add on the ones that we found. So there's minor cracking. This happens a lot with masonry construction. There's some of the cracks are at the bond beam headers, but it's typical with these builds. It just happens. Not a big deal as long as the builder addresses it, and that's our ultimate goal here, is to get these things looked at and have the builder take care of it. But overall, I think this builder is doing a pretty good job. And I want to show you something on the inside. So the outside of the property is pretty cool. I want to show you something inside that we don't typically see with Florida building. I'm going to pause this video. So over here we moved over to the master bath. So this is the shower area. And the builder put in treated lumber. I have to say that of all the homes that we've inspected here in Florida, this is the first time I've seen this. And this is a good thing. This is a wet area, a water wall. You could see like the furring strips on the masonry block. That's all treated lumber. But this is a good sign of a builder who's thinking ahead and doing the right thing. Most of the builders just put common lumber in. I mean, it is messy, but this is typical with construction. So that happens. So we have, you know, PEX piping with high density polymer fittings. That's super important because the water here in Florida is very harsh. We have the Super Cub here adjusting her hard hat and her hair. And we have our exhaust venting, which is mastic sealed to the roof deck. So one thing we were looking at here is, it's hard to see from this vantage point, but I have a lot of photo images of it. These plenum distributions. So they're actually in a you know, an acceptable position. The one thing you don't want is them between the truss joists. So these are actually below by a few inches. So they're in good shape. All the windows and doors are impact rated, except this front door. We have to question this front door because I'm going to tell you why. Here in Florida, impact rating is very important. So with the door, sometimes the label says it's impact rated, but they're referring to the solid core portion of the door, not the glass. This glass, I believe, is clearly not impact rated. I'm doing the finger test. That's the old school Florida test. This is not an impact rated door. So this is going to have to get shutter protected. So that's something, I guess, that's in the contract with the buyer and the builder. But I want to find another plenum here. Here's another one right here. So this one's not as high, but they are definitely within a tolerance positioning. So one thing over here is, I mean, you know, this is just what they do here in Florida. So they have the refrigerant line like right up on the roof deck. They did put an insulation pad there. We're going to ask them to kind of lower that refrigerant down. It's just I don't know. These are the kind of battles that are very hard to win. But there's plenty of room up there to run this a little lower. So, you know, and I understand it's a copper line and you can only, you know, flex it so much, but you know, it is insulated as well. But this is what they do. And there's another thing I want to point out here, if you're not familiar with Florida construction, because we don't do this where I come from, but it's okay. Everything's a butt joint here. Like, this is so weird. But it's okay. This is okay because the building inspectors say no problem here. And so there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know why they can't make a miter cut. It'd be very simple, but they just shoot a lot of nails in. But that's just how they do it here. And this is really not doing anything structural. It's more just drywall support. The truss system is holding everything up. And this board member right here, so this thing's not connected to anything, but it's really not doing anything either. You know, who knows why it's there. It could have been just like a brace when they put the truss system in with the crane. So this has nothing to do with the truss system, and I wouldn't even be concerned about it. But you can see they have tray ceilings, all that's done out of metal framing. So this house has a truss roof system. I know I'm going on with this video, but It has a truss roof system, so your exterior walls are your load bearing, but this home is so big that it also has, when you see wood framing and wood headers, these an indicator of an interior load bearing wall. So this already has an open floor concept. There would be no reason to remove that wall. And so never take a wall down that's wood here in Florida unless you're confident that it's not load bearing. And right over here, you know, this metal member was, you know, taken off. Obviously, common sense tells you, you know, to bring all this drywall in, but they crushed the bottom plate, so they're gonna have to fix that. And they also have the bottom plate sitting on treated lumber, which is another thing I don't commonly see here. They usually put the metal right on the concrete, which this is actually the right way to do it. So overall, I think everything looks pretty good here. A couple of minor things we want to talk about. One thing I want to point out, where am I? I got to get my bearings. Over here. This is a pet peeve of mine. This tub has to be protected. It's fiberglass. Doesn't matter if it's cast iron. It's got to be protected. It actually comes with packaging that, which clearly isn't here, but we're going to address that with the builder. We're going to ask them if they could cover that tub just to protect it during the construction phase, because we don't want that to get damaged. And you know, everything else looks pretty good. I haven't really come across anything that's concerning. You know, just minor things that we're going to ask the builder to make some corrections on. Right, Super Cub?
Yes.
So let's go over here to the Super Cub, because she's patiently waiting for lunch. So what do you think? What's your assessment of the property?
I think it's a nice house. I think they're doing a good job.
Doing a good job, right? All right. So overall, Super Cub thinks that the builder is doing a good job. So we're going to take that as, hey, the builder's doing a good job. She said everything's okay. So who's going to argue with her? Me. That's what I do all day long. So another thing over here I want to show. Here is the mechanical closet. So this is one thing we're going to focus on later in this build when they actually close the walls up. This has to be an exterior rated door that's sealed properly, because you can't have any gases from the garage entering this space. But this is the mechanical closet where the air handle is going to go. You're going to have your distribution trunk and your return trunk plenum. And you can see over here how they have PEX piping with high density polymer fittings. So when they do a 90, it's always nice to see that they actually use the correct fitting, or if they make a bend, they have to put the 90-degree piece in. And over here is going to be the hot water tank. And again, you know, everything looks pretty good. So nothing alarming here to call out, other than just like typical, you know, cleanup issues. And here's all your branch circuits. This is a Romex non-metallic sheath cable. So that's it. So we're going to sign off here from, we're in Fort Myers, Florida, doing an OverSeeIt program. Project Oversight done right, very important. You know, even small things need to be caught early on and written up in a comprehensive report. We do it in a punch list format for the builder, so they can button everything up before they go into interior drywall. But we're also going to say that they cannot, even though this has peel and stick up on the roof, the vent boots are not in place yet, so you cannot drywall or insulate until those boots are in place, because that has to be, that's the last part of sealing the attic space. And I'll show you one right here. You can see the light shining through. See right there, the light shining through. Not a big deal, as long as they put those vent boots on before they drywall the interior. All right, so signing off from Fort Myers, Chris from Bass Home Inspection, Certified Master Inspector. Have a great day.